Dexter Season 4 episode review video. Before I get into that, though, pretty important, if you're not caught up to the point where I am, you're rewatching or watching Dexter, or you're just not entirely sure, then you definitely need to take the initiative and pay attention to the episode's title, which of course I'll mention, as well as put in the description for you. If that happens to be the case and you're not caught up, it would be my recommendation that you don't watch this video any further to avoid any potential spoilers. This will be Dexter Season 4, Episode 3. The title of this episode is called Blinded by the Light. And this will be my review, reaction, recap after just finishing watching the episode. So there's a backyard barbecue at Dexter/Elliot's, or Rita and Dexter/Elliot's. Rita asked Dexter for the keys to his vehicle, or the vehicle, because of what the doctor had told Dexter, and she found out about it. She's going to drive him to work and pick him up for the rest of the time period because Dexter had a concussion. And then we find out that there's a neighborhood vandal. Elliot, the neighbor, pushes Cody into the swimming pool, which Cody, of course, is a boy, so he wants to do it again. And Dexter makes the decision to push Aster into the pool, and she was not happy about it at all. Trinity wants a woman to jump to her death. She does not want to jump. She's like, "Would you push me?" He's like, "No." And then eventually she lets go and does indeed finally fall to her death. Trinity wipes his ashes with, wipes saliva on his hand, or licks his hand and puts his hand in ashes and wipes it on the crime scene near the body. And someone has vandalized Dexter's gate. Does that fit the code? Can they end up on the table because of that? Deb makes the love of her life coffee, and I keep saying that because I can't believe she said that last season. I didn't catch that in all the times that I've rewatched this show. Dexter is annoyed with Rita driving him to work as Rita is singing to Harrison while driving, and it's too early or whatever for that. And she won't stop and let Dexter get more coffee because he's already had some. Batista and LaGuerta are leading the, I don't know if it's morning or afternoon meeting, while Soderquist is listening with a blue light polo on next to Quinn. And then Quinn asks Dexter if he likes dolphins, and Dexter says he's really more of a manatee guy. And then Quinn gives him club level seats to a Dolphins game as he can't go. So he was talking about sports, not just dolphins in general. And then Masuka is jealous that Dexter has club level seats, and Dexter gives them to him. And then Dexter has to go to a crime scene with Deb and Quinn. Dexter has to sit in back and listen. This is Quinn's car, and listen to a very loud subwoofer with a lot of bass. Nice. Lundy shows up, and why is Lundy wearing a fedora? Because his hair would blow around? I think that's why. Quinn calls him Special Agent Grandpa. That's where that originated from. I wasn't sure if it was Masuka or Quinn. I remember saying that in a previous review in Season 2. And Lundy is saying his thoughts now on a voice recorder. Lundy tells Deb he's glad the killer chose to be in Miami so he could be close to her, essentially. Masuka's the one that ends up driving Dexter home that night. Rita has a neighborhood watch meeting at the house. Elliot has put up a really bright spotlight. Aster is very into the neighbor's son. And then Dexter gets a can for Prince and also tells Aster, "I know one little lady that's up way past her bedtime." And another thing that annoys Aster with stuff that Dexter said or did, and Rita says he can't treat her like a little kid anymore. LaGuerta has an update on the Johnny Rose situation as he has an old flame and they want to go to her place to investigate there just in case he's there. The print that Dexter got is a match to the one of the neighborhood kids' son, the one that Aster is likes. Anton, of course, the love of Deb's life, shows up at the station and wants Deb to go out for lunch just like that without any warning at all. And Deb's like, "I got a caseload, I got work to do." So she's annoyed. And then Special Agent Grandpa, Frank Lundy, or Special Agent Lundy, joins Anton, Deb, and Dexter for lunch. I think he calls, if I remember correctly, he calls him Ashton by mistake, just because. And then Deb tells Lundy he was right about the victim having 2 kids. LaGuerta and Batista find Nikki Walt and Johnny Rose coming up to her apartment, and right away, Johnny Rose pulls the guns out immediately and starts shooting. Nikki does as well. It's bad enough that Frank Lundy is in town, but now the neighborhood watch is chasing Dexter. Masuka, Quinn, Deb, Lundy, and Dexter are throwing dummies from a warehouse high up. Lundy says he can't prove anything about Trinity because he's that good. Says that Trinity is a lone wolf and acts alone and has no close relatives or anything like that. Trinity, at a hotel room, I'm guessing, of sorts, pours a drink, which I'm thinking one of them was an alcoholic beverage, and I think the other one was water. He pushes the alcoholic beverage to the side and toasts with his, I think, water, unless it was vodka, and drinks with nobody else having the other drink. Christine Hill is at the station walking with Quinn. Cody apparently got his foot cut on some glass as the vandal broke some things, and they missed picking up some of the glass. Dexter tells Quinn that he doesn't care what Quinn is a dirty cop. He tells Quinn he doesn't give a shit, just keep his sister out of it, because Quinn keeps trying to butter him up because he knows that Dexter saw him take the money out of the safe, some of the money I should say. Deb says it was easy living with the love of her life, Anton, when he was never there. But now he's always home and wants to interact with her. And that's, well, it's annoying. She doesn't say that, but that's what she's feeling. Dexter apologizes to Aster about how he'd been treating her like a little kid. And Aster said, it's okay. I'm not that mad at you. I was just being a little brat. Christine Hill is giving Quinn a topless back massage. She's quite a looker too, and tells him about, he tells her about spending the afternoon throwing dummies from a warehouse, as Super Agent Lundy always gets his man. So Christine Hill is trying to get as much information as possible about what they're doing in this case for a potential serial killer, without being too obvious, and I'm starting to pick up on that, and I did when I first watched this show. Lundy tells Deb that he knows about Trinity, what he knows about Trinity thus far. Deb lies to the love of her life, Anton, when he calls. Jesse was in his room sleeping when the vandal struck again, because Dexter went right in there when they did something else. That's the neighborhood, the one that Aster's likes. That's the son of the neighborhood guy. Turns out the vandal is actually Jesse's father, Andy, and Dexter threatens Andy that it's over. He needs to stop this, or else he will do some bad things. Or I kind of got distracted at this part with the phone call, so I didn't go back and rewatch some of it. It's just a couple minutes here, but Andy agrees, and then the episode ends with Dexter breaking the spotlight that Elliot had bought or put up, and then Rita actually witnesses this, which of course ends the episode. So this episode, it wasn't the greatest. I think it was more of a filler episode, but I still liked it to a degree. As far as a score of this episode, I'm going to give it an 8.3 out of 10. And the character of the episode, it was tough. I'm going to give the male character to Special Agent Lundy, and the female character to Deb, with Lundy being the overall character of the episode. As far as our villain in this episode, I mean, he didn't kill anybody and Dexter didn't kill him, but Andy as a villain, well, I mean, he's just a vandal that likes to break things and run over kids' bikes. So I'll give him a 3 out of 10 just for honorable mention. So you've heard what I have to say. Now it's your turn. If you're a fan of Dexter or Dexter New Blood, The Walking Dead, Game of Thrones, Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul, Lost, or anything else that I like to cover on this channel, like Ozark or UFC live fight reactions, or if you just want to help me out with the YouTube algorithm, please take the time to smash that like button. Share the video with whomever you want, or if you want to put it on any of your social media platforms like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, MySpace, if people still use that. Sound off in the comments section about what your thoughts are on this episode of Dexter, Blinded by the Light. What would you score the episode? Whom would be your character of the episode? And your favorite moment. I didn't really have a particular favorite moment for this particular episode. And then, of course, last but certainly not least, don't forget to hit that sub button. You're watching the video anyway. Make sure you're subscribed. Join the team. Show your damn support and be a part of something special. And JDev will return.